Dear students, in last lecture we have seen the motional EMF. So today we will see what are the applications of motional EMF. So what is the general expression for motional EMF? In last lecture we have seen. So here it is given a uniform magnetic field, and here a closed loop is placed, and this length of the part of the loop is L, and this velocity is V, and the magnetic field is given B. So in this case, what is the motional EMF formula? BLV. So here this expression is used when it will be if the length of the conductor, because when the in EMF is induced in this coil, due to this part of the loop is cutting the magnetic field lines, then only induced EMF is produced, which causes induced current. So that already we have seen. So here L is perpendicular to the velocity. This is the direction of the velocity, and the length measured from, suppose if you give the names A and B. So the length measured from A to B, and the velocity is perpendicular. So in this case we will use BLV. Suppose this velocity is not perpendicular to this length, then what is the expression we will use? So here not only this case, we can see some more case, the EMF, motional EMF is induced. Here we have seen closed loop. Here we will take only conductor. This conductor length is L, and it is moving with velocity V, and this magnetic field is B. So in this case also induced EMF is produced, but induced current is 0. Already I told in note. Why? Because this is not closed loop. Even the conductor is cutting the magnetic field lines, there is no production of induced current because it is not closed loop. It is only conductor. In this case, in EMF is induced. In this case, what is the expression? Induced EMF is equal to BLV. Here also this is the length of the conductor, and velocity is perpendicular to this length. Suppose it is not moving perpendicular to it, then what is the expression? We'll see that. Magnetic field is given, conductor, velocity is like this. This is L and this is theta. And if you resolve the components, here V sin theta, and it is V cos theta. In this case, what is the expression? Here in previous two cases we have taken the velocity is a perpendicular to length, and also it is a perpendicular to magnetic field also. So here also we should take the component of velocity is a perpendicular to length of the conductor and also magnetic field. So what is the component perpendicular to it? That is a V sin theta. So instead of V we will take V sin theta. So here also EMF is produced, induced EMF, we can write B L into V sin theta. So in this case BLV sin theta. So this is the expression when velocity makes certain angle with the length of the conductor. So this is a scalar form. If you write it in vector form, E is equal to L bar dot V bar cross V bar. This is one vector form, or in another way also we can write induced EMF. Why I am not keeping here bar? It is a scalar quantity. So induced EMF is equal to B bar dot L bar cross B bar. So these are the two vector forms of induced EMF. So keep it in mind that L bar dot V bar cross B bar or B bar dot L bar cross B bar. So both are the vector form of induced EMF. Now we'll see some applications of induced EMF. So in that, so before going to applications, we'll see one important point. So here we can generalize the concept of motional EMF for a conductor with any shape moving in any magnetic field, either uniform or non-uniform. See, so this point is very important. We can apply the motional EMF concept of any shape of the conductor which is moving in either uniform magnetic field or non-uniform magnetic field. So here it is a uniform magnetic field is given. Instead of straight conductor, it is given, this is the shape of the conductor. So give the names A, and this end is C, and this end is B, and this total conductor is moving with velocity V. And this is a magnetic field is vertically downwards, and this is a not straight conductor, it is given in different shape, and which is this total is moving with a certain velocity V. So in this case, what is the expression for induced EMF? So in previous cases we have seen, we have to take the velocity which is a perpendicular to the length of the conductor and at the same time perpendicular to magnetic field, and here this is a not straight conductor, to take the perpendicular component of velocity. So what we will do in this case, we will take the effective length between the two ends of the conductor. What are the free ends of the conductor? One is A and one is B. So between these two ends directly we can calculate the effective length. Whatever the shape of the conductor, directly we should calculate the effective length by drawing a straight line from that free ends. So this is now straight conductor. Means instead of taking this total length, we can get the same induced EMF, even we will take the effective length between the two free ends of the conductor which is moving in the magnetic field. So directly we will take this length. So here this is the velocity component V, and we should take the perpendicular component. Let us consider this is a theta given, and what is the perpendicular component of this length and magnetic field? That is V cos theta. So in this case we can find the induced EMF between A, B. EMF is produced between A, B. Directly we can write effective length of AB into the perpendicular component of velocity and the magnetic field. So here we can write here what is the V bar? V perpendicular is here V cos theta. This component should be perpendicular to the both V bar and the length of AB. This point you should keep it in mind. So this is the way to apply the induced EMF for any shape of the conductor. So instead of taking the total length of that shape of the conductor, directly take the effective length between the two free ends of the conductor. In any case, this one it can be applied. So now we will see how to find the direction of induced current. So already we have seen one law, that is a Lenz law. So here one more rule is there, that is a Fleming's right hand rule. Here, what is the significance of Fleming's right hand rule to find the direction of induced current? To find the induced current, we have to stretch the right hand first three fingers, the forefinger and central finger and thumb. The three fingers, it should be stretched perpendicular to each other. So in such a way that the forefinger represents the direction of magnetic field and the thumb indicates the direction of motion of the conductor, and this central finger represents the direction of induced current. So here the three fingers, what does it indicate? The forefinger represents direction of the magnetic field, thumb indicates the motion of the conductor, and the central finger represents direction of induced current. So here just I will write the names. Forefinger represents direction of magnetic field, and thumb indicates motion of conductor. Next, central finger represents direction of induced current. Now we'll see some of the applications.